Alright guys, we're going to get started on creating the creepy Halloween potion using Illustrator. So first step, it wants you to create, I don't even think it gives us a set size, so let's do file new 600 pixels by 600 pixels since we're not going to print this one. And we'll change it from CMYK to RGB because again, we're not printing this one. And you're going to hit create. Alright, it wants us to create a rectangle tool to cover up the entire background. So we're going to grab the rectangle tool, and it says it's a dark purple rectangle. So let's come to our fill. This is like a purple here, so that'll do for now. I want to make sure there's no stroke on this, so you could just make this take up the whole space. If you're not a fan of this purple, you can always double click on the fill color over here in your tools panel and then adjust the darkness too. Alright, it wants us to lock this layer, so open your layers panel and lock it right here, and we're going to create a new layer on top of that for the potion. Now if you wanted to, you can double click on here to rename it potion, and then rename layer 1 by double clicking on it, and I like to just put BG for background. Okay, it says let's switch to the ellipse tool and create an 80 by 20 pixel light blue oval for the glass file. So let's right click on the rectangle tool or double click on it, look for ellipse. Oops, I want to make sure I'm on my potion layer. There we go. And then if you click once, you can enter the width manually here. So I can do 80 pixels by 20 pixels and then hit OK. I want to change this to a light blue, so I'm going to come to my appearance really quick and do a light blue. Ooh, I want it lighter than that, so I'm going to double click over here and lighten that up. Maybe even less. There we go. You can also copy this hex code here if you want to pause it, but I'm going to hit OK. Alright, next step says copy the ellipse and paste it in front. Shrink the copy and make it smaller, 60 by 10 pixels. I'm not going to copy anything, so I'm just going to click one more time and enter the 60 by 10 pixels since the instructions gave us that. Hit OK, and we want to change this one to a darker blue, so I'm just going to double click here again. I'm going to go to, I guess I can come here. I'll leave it at that, so that's hex code 48CAED, and then hit OK. And then I'm going to come in here and then place it in the center. Okay, it says use the horizontal align function to align the panel to the center both shapes to the artboard. So we could box select these two and then use this tool here to center align and then do the horizontal or the vertical and horizontal here, but it's already set that way, so mine didn't move. Oh, my bad. We have to do align to artboard here, and now we can do these. Okay. Step 3 wants you to use the rectangle tool again and makes the bottleneck from a 60 by 75 pixel rectangle. So let's go back to our rectangle tool. I'm going to click once and enter the 60 pixels by 75 and hit OK. It's the wrong fill color, so I'm going to use the eyedropper tool really quick and then sample this lighter blue over here. There we go. And then we want to position it somewhere around here according to the tutorial. And I'm going to do horizontal. Oh, it's not doing it. Hold on. Let me try aligning these again. That is so strange. It doesn't look like it's centering it, so I'm going to manually center it then. Here we go. Okay, once you have that made, it wants you to right click on this shape here, the rectangle we just made, and send to back. So you're going to arrange, send to back. And I think that really only puts it behind this one, but let's double check our layers. Nope, okay, it's behind both of them. Okay, step 4 says take the ellipse tool, hold down the shift key, and let's make a 160 pixels by 160 pixel circle. So again, I'm going to right click, ellipse tool, and then click once to bring this up. So 160 by 160 pixels, and you can hit OK. So I'm entering these manually because it's giving me the size, but you can also always grab a circle, right? And while you're making it, there's that little gray box that's telling you what size the circle currently is at. So right now it's 139 by 144. It's just easier for me to do it this way. Okay. Align all the shapes in the center. I'm pretty sure mine's in the center. There we go. I just want to see how tall I want to make this. So this is the positioning that I have for my little potion. Okay. It wants you next to select the circle that we just made and the bottleneck, which is this rectangle here. And it wants you to use the Pathfinder to merge both of the shapes together. So remember, your Pathfinder should appear once you have both of these selected over here. So Unite is the first one. If you don't see Pathfinder, you can go to Window and look for Pathfinder there. Alright, so we have something like this now. The next thing it wants us to do is select the shape. So this main shape we just made. And then we're going to go to our object menu up at the top. You're going to hover over path, and then you're going to select offset path. You're going to enter the value to be -10 pixels, so just -10. And then if you just click on this box here, nothing happens, but you get to see the preview because we have this checked on of what it looks like, and that looks okay. So you're going to hit OK. It's step 6 says make the inner part of the bottle darker. So I'm just going to click on this one and grab my eyedropper tool and then click on this blue right here. Alright, it says with the direct selection tool, drag the inner part of the bottle. Oh my bad, let me start over. Make the inner part of the bottle darker, which we just did. Let's select its top left and right anchor points with the direct selection tool and drag them up a bit to hide the top part of the shape behind the ovals. Okay, so direct selection tool, remember, is this white cursor here. You're going to click once on this anchor point, hold down shift and click on this other one. Okay, with those two selected, you're going to hold down the shift key, and then it wants you to move them up. Oops, hold down shift. That's so weird. Wants us to hide the oval, so that's a little strange. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to bring this lighter one above. I'm going to bring both of these above that shape. There we go. So I just lifted this one up, this copy, and then I brought both of these two ellipses to be at the top over here. Okay, so that creates that fake overlapping. It wants us next to, so we're in step 7 now. Pour some liquid into the vial. So It wants us to grab our selection tool, make a copy of the inside of the vial, and you're going to do Command C or edit copy. And once you copy it, you can do Command Shift V as in Victor, or you can come to edit, paste in place. So we have a copy there now. It says next take the eraser tool, so in your tools panel it's this one right here. Select it. It wants you to hold down the Alt Option key and delete the top part of the copy by covering it with the white selection. So this is just how much liquid is actually going to be on there. So I'm going to hold the Option Alt key, drag a big circle to, I want, let's say, that much liquid, and you'll see that it's been cut. I'm going to grab my selection tool, make sure this is still highlighted, and in the fill, pick a green color or whatever potion color you want. It doesn't have to be the exact same color palette. Alright, step 8, use the ellipse tool to create an oval, a narrow oval top on top of the green shape to give it a more dimensional look. Try to fit the width of the ellipse into the inner part of the bottle, making it match the green shape. So, ellipse tool, I'm going to start like right here for now. And then I'm going to make this a darker green, so maybe like that. Now I'm going to grab my selection tool and slightly move it above, like so. You can zoom in here if you wanted to, or you can use your arrow keys to slightly shift things. That looks good. There we go. So that looks more 3D now. So this is a good spot to do a file save as. Make sure you have your USB as the location here. And I want you to rename this one your last name, first name initial, underscore Halloween 1. So last name, first name initial. If you have a really long last name, then just do both of your initials. Leave it as an AI file because we're still not done with this, and hit save. You're going to hit OK. Right, and then we'll see you in the next part.